When the father was transferred to a remote hill village, the family had no choice but to move. The new house stood alone in the middle of a vast garden. Ancient stone walls, broken windows, tall black trees circling it like silent guards. The villagers watched in silence as the family moved in. A mother, 5 children, 3 girls, 2 boys, all younger than 10. Their father worked night shifts, leaving before sunset and returning only after sunrise. Every evening, as darkness covered the trees, the house felt heavier, as if it remembered something. Why did the villagers stare at the house with fear? The first terrifying night came with rain. Thunder shook the windows. The children, frightened, slept around their mother on a mat in the living room. The candles flickered. The clock struck midnight. Then, tap, 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 bare feet on the stone floor. The mother slowly lifted her eyes. At the end of the room stood a young girl in a white school uniform. Her hair hung wildly over her face. Her head tilted unnaturally. Water dripped from the edge of her skirt. And her eyes, wide, furious, unblinking. The mother's body froze. She couldn't scream, couldn't move. The girl simply stared. Thunder flashed. For 1 second, a dark rope mark was visible around her neck. The mother shut her eyes tight, and sometime before dawn, she fell asleep from pure terror. Why was the ghost girl staring at the children? Morning came as if nothing had happened. The room was dry, no footprints, no dripping water, no girl. The mother ran to the nearest neighbor. An old woman listening at the doorway turned pale. She whispered the story. Years ago, another family had lived there. Their eldest daughter, Sama, was a bright schoolgirl. She had fallen deeply in love with a village boy named Amara, but her parents forbade it. They locked her inside, beat her, told her she was too young to know love. One stormy night, wearing her white school uniform, Sama hanged herself from the largest tree in the garden. The old woman points toward the center tree. Its branch still bends lower than the rest, as if remembering the weight. Why has Sama returned now after so many years? That evening, the children played in the hallway. Then, the youngest boy called out, "Boy, Emma, what is this?" On the old wall, beneath peeling paint, fresh scratch marks appeared. Letters, slowly, as if invisible nails were carving them. The children watched in horror. "Sama loves Amara." The words cut deep into the stone, still bleeding dust. The mother grabbed all 5 children and pulled them close. But the youngest girl asked softly, "Girl, why is she writing it again?" No one answered, because none of them knew who had erased it before. Who keeps removing the message? And why does the ghost need it seen? That night, the father was away again. Rain returned, heavier than before. The children slept close together. Then came the sound. Creak, creak. Footsteps from the upstairs attic. But the house had no upper floor, only a sealed storage loft above the ceiling. The mother held a lantern and climbed the ladder. Inside the dusty loft, she found an old school bag, faded love letters, a white ribbon, and a diary. The final page read, "If they bury my words, I will write them where the house breathes. Then a cold breath touched the mother's neck. Behind her, in the dark, the girl stood smiling. This time, not angry, desperate. What truth is Sama trying to reveal? The mother follows the spirit into the garden during the storm. Lightning reveals the giant hanging tree. At its trunk are dozens of carved names. Not one, not two, many. Each one a pair. Different lovers from different years. The village had a dark history. Families had hidden every forbidden love. And every tragedy, Sama was only the last. The tree was feeding on heartbreak. Every erased love story made the spirit stronger. The house was never haunted by one ghost. It was haunted by all the silenced promises buried there. Is Sama protecting the children or trapping them as the next names? Before dawn, the storm stops. The mother rushes back inside. All 5 children are asleep, safe. Or so she thinks. On the wall, beneath Sama loves Amara, a new line is being scratched. Slowly, letter by letter, no visible hand. The mother watches in frozen terror as it finishes. Now your children will remember us too. The youngest daughter suddenly sits upright in sleep. Without opening her eyes, she whispers, Amara came home tonight. The candle blows out, complete darkness, and from the garden outside, the sound of a rope tightening on wood. Some names fade from walls, but never from the house that heard them whispered.